Hello everyone. Today we will study about the obstacles in ranging and chaining. We have seen in the previous class about the various obstacles. First one, we have obstacle to ranging but not chaining. That means chaining is free but vision is obstructed. When vision is obstructed means you cannot range from one point to other point. Second one, chaining obstructed but vision free. That means obstacle is there for chaining but not ranging. Third one, both chaining and ranging are obstructed. So we will study them one by one. First one, chaining free, vision obstructed. That means obstacle to ranging but not chaining. Whenever both the end points are not intervisible because of some obstructions, that there a case may arise where you cannot range from one point to other point, but you can measure the distance. See here, I have explained you this figure. From point A to point B you can measure the distance easily, but you cannot range it. You cannot hold the ranging rod at A and B, and you cannot see from A to B or B to A because those two are not intervisible due to the obstacle. The obstacle is here is a risen ground. Okay, so uh, to measure the distance from A to B by the ranging method, what we have to do, we have to establish the intermediate points R and S such that from point R, S and B are visible, and from point S, R and A are visible. This technique is also called as reciprocal ranging. This technique is also called as reciprocal ranging, where two endpoints are not visible, intervisible due to the obstacle that may be the risen ground. Okay, so in this case I will establish point R and S, and I will measure the distance between point A and B, right? So how to establish the point R and S, that we will study now. Okay, I will be selecting two random points R1 and S1 away from the risen ground. Okay, I will be selecting 2 points R1 and S1 away from the risen ground such that if I hold the ranging rod at R1, S1 and B, they should come in a straight line. I have to select the points R1 and S1 away from the risen ground such that if I hold the ranging rod at R1, S1 and B, they should come in a straight line. Okay, now what we will do, the person standing at S1 will guide the person who is standing at R1 to shift to a new point R2, so that if he holds the ranging rod at R2, points S1, R2 and A should come in a straight line. Okay, the person at S1 should guide the person at R1 to move to a new point R2 such that S1, R2 and A should come in a straight line. Next the person at R2 will guide the person at S1 to move to a new point S2 such that point R2, S2, B come in a straight line. The procedure you have to repeat until you reach the risen ground and establish the point R and S on a risen ground, so that from point R, S and B points shall be visible, and from point S, R and A shall be visible. Correct? So once you establish the intermediate points, you can easily measure the distance by ranging. Okay, you have to hold the ranging rod at A, R, S and B. Okay, and you can range it easily, and you can also measure the distance between point A and B. Right? So since this is a risen ground, it comes under the sloped ground. We will study how to measure the distance on sloped ground in the next section. Okay, this is the indirect method of ranging whenever you have the obstacles. In that, this is the first case where you have obstacle to ranging but not chaining. You can chain the distance, but there is a obstruction for ranging from one point to other point. The obstruction here is the risen ground, right? So we will be using reciprocal ranging technique to measure the distance between point A and B. Okay, next we will go to the next section, that is next classification.